Hello and welcome all my dear students. How have you been? I hope you have been good. You are doing great in your work of studies. You are completing all your work. My dear little champs, in the previous lecture, we combined two chapters together, chapter 12 and 13, for which we have solved chapter 12 worksheet and chapter 13 reading part and the hard words. This is what the agenda was in the previous lecture, and I hope that you have watched full lecture, you have completed the work given for both the chapters respectively. Also, I hope that you have got the worksheets now so that you can just practice the chapter textual exercises along with the worksheet, questions, objectives. So, my dear little champs, I welcome you once again in the science lecture. I hope that today also you are ready and are sitting with your books. Now, as you are sitting with the books, you should know that in this lecture what we are going to do, if you are watching the lectures regularly, you should get the idea that what the next lecture will be for. So basically what are we going to do today is chapter 13, the sun, moon and stars explanation. We are going to start with the reading and understanding the chapter. So I hope that you are ready with page number 128, where chapter 13 starts from the sun, moon and stars, and you are ready to understand the chapter. So let's get started. Now those who are not having the textbook, again I'd like to repeat for them that you don't have to worry for the textbook. If you do not have, you can just watch the lecture. In the lecture, as always, I will display the textbook page and you can read where my cursor will move and also understand like any other child having the textbook. So let's get started. Now I'm going to display the textbook. I hope that you all are ready with your books and the pencils and your mind open. So my dear little champs, this is your chapter number 13, the sun, moon and stars. And I hope that the sun, moon and stars, I don't need to explain you what is the sun, moon and stars. Sun is the biggest star. Now you will say biggest star, but the biggest star of our solar system, of Milky Way. There are many galaxies out there other than our Milky Way. So sun is the biggest star, but only in our Milky Way. Out there are many galaxies. There the stars are there which are bigger in the size compared to our sun. Yes, that is the fact, that it is not biggest in the space. It is the biggest star just in our solar system, in Milky Way. So many of you might not be knowing or were not knowing that sun is the star. Yes, sun is not the planet, it is the star, it is the biggest star. So that is what the fact is. And what is the moon? It is our satellite. And what is the star? You know that stars are there and there are millions of the stars in our galaxy. Some stars are bigger than the size of our Earth planet, but as they are very far from us, we are not able to see them in our original size. So now here let us start with the lesson. You must have seen the sky at night. Children, have you seen the sky at night? Yes, stars are twinkling. You can see the moon, but you cannot see the sun, right? During the night time. We do not see the sun. The night sky is full of stars. They form different patterns and shapes in the sky. Sometimes when you are sitting with your friends idle, without any work, when you are observing, especially in the summer season, when you are having school vacation, holidays, you go to sleep in the terrace. I don't know about today's generation, but children, trust me, during my time, we do not use the air conditioners or the coolers. Rather, we like to use the natural source of air which was sleeping in the terrace, and having a good air over there, fresh air. And we used to observe the stars just before falling asleep. And trust me, we used to enjoy a lot. Different shapes we used to observe, even the stars used to form. This is what is asked here, that they form different patterns and shapes in the sky. Join the dots to make the pattern of the stars in the sky. You can see that here different patterns are formed. Saptarishi and different names in the Hindi are given to the stars forming the patterns. Yes, it is truth. So you can see here patterns. Example of the patterns are drawn and given here. This is how somewhat you can see lion and sometimes square, sometimes octagon. Different mathematical patterns are also formed. So here the question is asked, have you seen the group of stars in the sky? Students, have you seen different group of stars in the sky? Yes or no? Yes, I have seen. Stars look like tiny dots of the light in the sky because they are very small. No, just now I said that some stars are very big, even bigger than the size of our planet Earth. So that should not be the reason. Can you say that they are bright and very far from us? They are indeed very far from us, but they are not bright because they reflect sometimes the light of the other stars or the sun, and they are the burning balls. So can you say they are very far from us? Yes, actually they are very far from us. That is the reason why they appear like a tiny dots. Not because they are bright. Actually they are bright because they are the burning balls, but that is not the reason why they look very tiny dots. But as they are very far from us, they just appear in the form of dots to us. Right? That is the reason. So option B is the answer. So this was just a warm-up exercise for you to recollect about the memories. I hope that you also have the memories when you were just looking at the stars. You might be observing something. You might have even seen the meteors, right? The broken stars which come very swiftly on the earth, and luckily by the time they come to the earth's contact, earth's gravity, they burn in the ashes. Otherwise, just imagine the star which is of the size of the earth, and if it will fall originally in its size, the earth will turn into ashes. Anyways, let us start with the first topic, the sun. The sun and the solar system. The sun is a huge ball of fire which gives us heat and light. The earth moves around the sun. The earth is a planet. Now the earth is the planet which you all know. And the sun is the ball of fire. Do you know that? I hope you knew that. If you do not, I now hope that you know that the sun is the ball of fire. That means a star. Stars are nothing. Simply you can see that when teachers give you star, when you are asked to draw a star, you draw like this. But originally stars are not of this pattern. They are not of this shape. Yes, they are just the burning balls, burning fireballs. But they appear like that because they are very far and because of the influence of the air in the atmosphere we live. They appear in this shape, but originally they are not of this shape. So, similarly, sun appears like this because it is very, 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 very big from the earth. So, it appears in its original shape. It is ball, burning ball. A planet is a round object that moves around the sun in a fixed path called orbit. What is planet? This is the definition of the planet. A planet is the round object. Okay, students, I want you to repeat with me. Will you repeat it? Please repeat this line with me. I request you to repeat it loudly and clearly. A planet is a round object that moves around the sun in a fixed path called orbit. So you can see here a very captivating picture is given of our solar system. This is how the space looks like out there. And this is our Earth. Can you see? It is not the biggest in the size in our solar system. See, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, these are almost equal or greater than in the size if compared to Earth. Jupiter is the biggest one. So, our Earth comes third in the number if we count from the Sun. And they rotate around. They just, they are moving around the Sun. And this path, you can see that the lines are drawn. So this path, these lines are called orbit, around on which the planets move. For example, this is Neptune. So it will move in this orbit only. It will not come on the orbit of Uranus. So a fixed path on which they move continuously around the sun, that path is called their orbit. So these are the planets which move around the sun on their orbit. The sun and the 8 planets are part of the solar system. The sun and the 8 other planets are the part of the solar system. Like you are the part of your family, your father, your mother, your cousins, your brother, sister, your grandparents, they are the part of your family. Similarly, the sun and the 8 planets are the family, are the part of our solar system. And the name of our solar system is Milky Way. You should remember this name. In Hindi it is known as Akash Ganga, but in English it is known as Milky Way. This is the knowledge you should have. The 8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. See students, there is a good trick to remember the name of these planets. M, V, E, M, J, S, U, N. How can you remember? My very eager mother just showed us 9 planets. So you can see my means M, very means V. You can use eager, excellent, whatever adjective you want for the earth. E, mother means M, just J, showed S, us, U, 9, N, and the planets for Pluto, which is now not considered as a planet. So my very eager or excellent mother just showed us 9 planets. By remembering this line, you can remember the initials of the word and you can remember the name of the planet. This was the way how I used to learn the name of 9 planets. So these are the members of the family of Milky Way. Now you know, other than Sun, these many planets are there, 8 planets are there. Pluto is now not considered as a planet, or I should say no more considered as planet. Planets do not have light of their own. See, planets do not have light of their own. Now you might be saying that, sir, we switch on the light of our house, we have the light of our own. Not that way. Like you see, sun is the star which shines on its own. It has the light of its own. It is, we can say, luminous object. Like that, all the planets do not have the light of its own. They reflect the light of the sun that falls on them. See, in the morning you can see that the sunlight falls on the earth. Still in the summer season, how hot we feel. Just imagine how big and hot might be sun over there originally. You cannot even go to the Mercury because it is already burning there. You will just melt like a candle if you will even go near the planet which is there to the nearest to the sun. So it is next to impossible to reach there, because even in the desert area or wherever the hot weather is there, you cannot stand with your bare foot. So how hot is the sun? Can you just imagine going there? It is not possible. So the sunlight is such that it reflects on all the planets, and that is why the planet just appears. There is a light on the earth. Similarly, there is light on the other planets just because of the sunlight. The earth is the third planet from the sun. This is what we saw. It is the only planet known to have life on it. See, we do not know about the aliens because we are living here on the earth. And for this Milky Way, we people only know there is a life on the earth. We do not know about the other objects, about the other planets. There is the rumor, or we can say might be the fact, aliens are there. Why? Let me explain it to you. See, our earth is here, right? We cannot even reach till Jupiter. Why? Approximately, if we want to reach from here till Jupiter, we need 400 light years. That means if you travel with the speed of light, still you need 400 years approximately. We people are not able to live till 100 years. How will we be able to reach till here, Jupiter? Is that possible? So this is how the distance is. Can we just imagine reaching till the Uranus or Neptune then? Not possible. Can we imagine reaching till the Mercury? No, even if we will find the means to travel over there, we are going to burn. Sun is there. Not a single machine can just stand, man-made machine can stand in front of sun. It is a burning ball. So this is how it is. Even if we reach till Jupiter, it has so much poisonous gases, we will not be able to enter there. So we cannot reach out of our galaxy, our Milky Way. So we do not know, is there any life outside our Milky Way, because there are millions of other galaxies like our Milky Way is. So this is why there is no debate on the life is there or not. It is just that we know there is life on earth, proper amount of sunlight, proper amount of heat, proper amount of air, proper amount of oxygen, proper amount of everything is there on the earth. That is why we know there is life on earth. We do not know about other. Yes, now scientists are trying to find the life on the Mars, because you know that Mars mission was successful by India. In future what will happen, we do not know. Now, here one good fact is given, points are given. Mercury is the smallest planet. You know that? Can you see in the picture? Mercury is the smallest planet. Let me show you one interesting original picture I have taken from internet. See students, I have brought another picture. I have overlapped the picture, original picture I have brought from the internet. See, this is Mercury. Can you see Mercury? A tiny star like a structure. And then the Venus. And then our Earth. See how small is our Earth. It is just a speck in this galaxy. Just imagine, we human beings are living here. And then the Mars. See, smaller than that. A very little speck. Then comes the Jupiter, the biggest one. Then this is the Saturn. It has a beautiful rings. Saturn is known for that actually. Then Uranus, and then comes Neptune. This is a kind of original picture. Can you see the picture of sun? This is not even a half part of the sun shown in the picture, and see, still the planets are almost of half of this size. So just imagine the size of the sun. Can you just imagine the size of sun in front of all these planets? Our earth will come nowhere if it will just crash with the sun. Not even a second it will take to crash our earth, and it will disappear. It is just a kind of stone for the sun. Don't you think so? Then the next point is Jupiter is the largest planet. This is what we saw right now in our galaxy, in our solar system, in our Milky Way. Saturn is the lightest planet. What do you mean by lightest? Light means not heavy in the weight. How light it is? If there was a bathtub large enough to dip Saturn, that means if there was a bathtub as big as the size of Saturn, it would float on water. Then the Saturn would float on the water. It will not drown inside the water. It is very light in the weight. Just imagine. So when you put the feather on the water, it floats on the water, right? Similarly, Saturn would float on the water. It is so much light. So you might be knowing that Mercury is the smallest, Jupiter is the largest, but you might not be knowing that Saturn was this much light in the weight that it will float on the water. If there is a bathtub of size of Saturn, then there is a different thing. So one more point, very interesting point is there for the discussion. Let us zoom in and see. Pluto was considered the 9th planet of the solar system for a very long time. Why it is not a planet anymore? Do you know the reason? Like I said when I was discussing this, the name of the planets, I said that the last was Pluto, which is no more considered as a planet. You know why? So students, this is the reason. See, the International Astronomical Union, that is IAU, downgraded the status of Pluto. Downgraded means brought it down, the status, to that of a dwarf planet because it did not meet the 3 criteria of International Astronomical Union IAU uses to define that full-sized planet. There are 3 criteria for the planet to, say that yes, this is the planet, to declare that this is a planet. So essentially Pluto meets all the criteria except one. It has not cleared its neighboring region of other objects. This is the only reason why Pluto was removed and now no more considered as a planet. So this is what you should know. There are no more 9 planets, there are only 8 planets and the sun and the stars in the Milky Way, in the family. So students, like on the earth, see, earth is very small. So like on the earth, there are many countries. So that is also one family. Now in the countries there are many states. Again, many families of the states. Again in the states, in the cities, many families are living. Like my family is different, your family is different. So similarly, our Milky Way is same like for the space. In this space, like our Milky Way, many other families are there. And we do not know whether there is life or not. So we only know what is there on the earth. We do not know what is there on the Jupiter. We do not know what is there on the Saturn. Scientists can just make the calculations and assumptions. Have they reached on the Saturn? No. How will you know what is there? You can just make the calculations, estimations and assumptions. Scientists are very intelligent, but physically and essentially they do not know what is there. We only know the details of the earth because we are living on the planet earth. It seems very big to us. And students, one more thing. When you are standing at the one place, when you look at the sky, sometimes you feel that the sky is going down. Sky is going down like this, right? Why do you feel like that? Because you are standing on the planet earth, which is round, which is spherical in the shape, not round. If you are standing here, obviously it is going to get down like this, it's going to get a curve like this somewhere. But when you walk straight and straight and straight, it is still straight. So this is the reason why, because our earth is in the spherical shape, not exact round, but it is round like. So whenever you are standing at certain place, it is going to get curved from somewhere. But you do not fall down because of the gravitational force of our earth. Because when you walk down and down and down, still you are on the earth, you do not fly because there is a gravitational force. But when you go to the moon, there is no gravitational force. So you cannot keep your leg constantly. When you keep your leg, you can jump in the sky like a bird. You can literally fly like a bird over there. Because there is no gravity on the moon. At last, I would like to show you the picture of Pluto, which is now not considered as a planet. So dear children, this is Pluto, which is not considered now as planet. Otherwise, there were 9 planets. So with this much knowledge, I end my today's lecture. We will continue from page number 130 with the next lecture. Have a nice day, people. Take care of yourself, and I hope that you will follow all the lectures. Stay safe. Goodbye.